Hi guys, I'm Lori Shaw with Renaissance Periodization. I'm doing a recipe today from my most recent cookbook, Big Flavor Zero Fat. So this is a non-fat recipe, and it is a pizza concept with like a Mexican flair. So let's dive right in. We're gonna make our crust. So we've got ground beef, and you guys know with the RP templates, it's always 90% or better lean ground beef that you wanna use. So I've got my ground beef here, some liquid egg whites, just gonna help bind it together. This is where, if you at home don't have any issues with dairy, use shredded parm. That's gonna be a really good flavor for this. It's gonna add a little bit of fat, of course, but because I can't have dairy, I use nutritional yeast. And it sort of has that same like salty, cheesy impact on food. So I use that a lot. This is like a Mrs. Dash chipotle Southwest seasoning. You know, me and Mrs. Dash go way back. My family loves Mrs. Dash, so we have a lot of different ones. And this just kind of gives it like a little bit of a Southwestern flair to it. And then some coarse salt and some garlic powder. And we're just gonna mix this together really well. I think we're ready. So I've got a pizza pan with a sheet of parchment paper on top. I'm just gonna dump this out on here. And just pat this down. Wet your hands if you want to, that'll help. If you need to, spray your hands with like cooking spray, that'll also work. Now this is gonna do some crazy things. You've gotta be a little bit careful with this recipe. Hot grease, which is certainly, even at a 90% lean, you're gonna have grease that's gonna come off this in the oven around the sides. You're gonna leave some room around the edge of the crust in the pan for that grease to collect. But that's how it's gonna look when it's done. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. Now we're gonna make our topping, or our sauce for our Meatza. So this is just refried pinto beans. If you have a different, if you like black beans, if you like any other kind of bean that you wanna use instead, totally cool. This is enchilada sauce. You can make your own, which is always best, because the ones in the grocery store, a lot of them have added sugars that you just totally don't need. But if you look hard enough, like I know I've found it at Whole Foods, they have enchilada sauce that does not have added sugar. All right, so let's pull our crust out of the oven. And again, like I said, very carefully. There's grease all around the outside. So what you wanna do is, and I typically do this over the sink, but I'm gonna do it here so I can really show you guys so you can see it, and I have like a heat-proof bowl here ready. But what you wanna do is hold onto the parchment so you're not gonna lose anything, and just pour that off as carefully as you can, wearing oven mitts and all that. And don't tilt it up too much because it will slide on you. Try to tilt off what you can into a bowl. You don't have to get it all. And then the rest, you can either press with paper towels or you can use these, which I like to do. And that way you're not getting close to anything. You don't have any chance of burning yourself. Just use tongs and paper towels and just get all of that grease off. Then we have our sauce that we made up and got ready. So we'll go ahead and put that on. It's not gonna melt, you know, a whole lot or run off or anything like that. Spread that on. And this is where I like to add on my jalapenos if you're gonna use those, so that they get heated up. These are the jarred ones, the canned ones. Fresh is great too. So we got this ready. Pop it back in the oven for like 4 or 5 minutes, just to heat the sauce, the beans through. So this is where your personal tastes come into play. So I've got some salsa here, no sugar added, just veggies, salsa. I've got some chopped green onions, I've got non-fat sour cream, I've got some chopped tomatoes. I love lettuce shreds on this. I like to put it on the top after I put all my good toppings on, and then I like to do the toppings, the lettuce on the top. So it's whatever you and your family like. The cool thing is too, sometimes with my family, we will go ahead and cut our pieces now, put them on the plate, and then everybody goes through like a little taco bar and does their own toppings. That's also a really good way to do it. So however you want to do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do what I like. guys.